Welcome to Pink Kink,
where we talk about the pretty, twisted side of kink.
I'm Princess Rara.
And I'm Dara, the Electro Khaleesi.
Whether you are a new kinkster or have years of experience, Pink Kink will help you level up your kink knowledge.
Join us on this journey as we talk about our personal experiences and use the knowledge we've gained over 28 years of being involved in both private and professional aspects of this lifestyle to help you explore every facet of kink.
Get set for an adventure. Not only will you learn and grow, but we promise loads of laughter, turning each episode into a fun party. So fasten your seatbelt and let's get this show started. Pink Kink runs off the generosity of our devoted patrons.
As a patron, you will become a member of our special Discord server, receive some adorable Pink Kink stickers, as well as have access to a monthly behind-the-scenes podcast. Patrons also get discounts at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique, and our online classes at Pink Kink Institute.
In addition, our impactful and electrifying Pink Kinksters get special audio and video episodes. And finally, patrons at our highest tier will be recognized as producers, both here on the podcast and on our website.
If you would like to become a patron, you can visit us at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast or click the link at pinkkinkpodcast.com.
Today's episode is produced by our electrifying Pink Kinksters. Thank you, Jay, Witcherman, Brianna Lynn, Daddy J, Fabe, Embers, Blossom, William P, Claire, Lady Blooding, Naughty and Nice, Butte Pain, Manda Panda, Cat, Stefan, Shadow Phoenix, Kilted Sir, Brian, May Cry Devil, Ruby Riot, Mistress Velma, Enchanted Sparrow, The Wombat, Impact Hazard, Twitch, The Midnight Girl, Sinful, J21, Daisy If You Do, AK Harley Chick, Violet Rain, Serenity, Belle, Eric, Lady Affliction,
Dr. Dave, Pumpkin Pie, Ms. Tourmaline, S'more, Hacksaw, Wee Mad Beastie, To Be Better For Me, 3 a.m. Thoughts, Forrest, BP Bryn, Crash Override, Iro, Kinky Bear, Sviper No Swiping, Barbie, Navigator Bard, Frost, Sinful and Naughty, Coffee and Chaos, Noir, Haley's Comment, Mr. Pillsbury, Stitch, Peaches, Mighty Owl, Princess Sassy Pants, Lady and Lex, Chaos Monster, Casper, Hazel Page, Jessa Lady, DJ Harlow, Ophelia, Master A, and Drew. All right, you ready?
I don't know, am I?
No, but you keep slamming your phone down like that.
I'm sorry. I'm putting stuff away because I'm getting in the mood.
Oh, I didn't put you in the mood immediately?
I'm in the mood.
Oh, good. Do you have angry eyes?
A little bit. They're half angry and half sad.
Would you like to put your angry eyes back on? Because I feel like if you tell this story, you're going to need angry eyes.
If I tell the story, I'm going to start ranting. Are we prepared for that this early in the morning? Have you had your coffee?
Wait, let me get it.
All right. Have our listeners had our coffee? Because I have angry eyes.
I knew it.
So let's go back in time. Do we have any go back in time music? It was Wednesday. It was a lovely day outside. And I did what I always do Wednesday. I upload Friday's episode. That's what I do on Wednesday. I upload it and set it up to go on Friday.
But this time...
Well, hold on. I did that. But then I always also go back and double check I didn't have any typos because I don't know what's going on with my right thumb, but it doesn't like to hit the right letters sometimes. So I went back and I checked. And of course, my usual typo, because for whatever reason, my phone never wants to do the word for, F-O-R. I apparently am always typing faux, F-O-E instead.
Yeah.
So I go back and I fix it. And I hit, okay, schedule it.
Go on my merry way.
So I thought. Then somebody posted in our Patreon group, thank you, Violet, for ruining my day. She said, oh my God, the newest Pink Kink just dropped. I went, what?
And it was spelled W-A-T.
What? Apparently, in my infinite, I would say normally wisdom, but in this case, stupidity, when I made the change and did the correction, I didn't double check that it was still going to be scheduled, and it posted immediately. Now, being my public relations background, I was able to turn it into something good because this also happened to be World BDSM Day.
Convenient.
So I just said, hey, guess what? We're going to celebrate World BDSM Day by putting our newest episode out early. Happy World BDSM Day, everybody. Congratulations.
Totally 100% on purpose.
On purpose. So I thought that was the end of the fuck-ups and all would be well. Then on Friday afternoon, so I've just been innocently tra-la-la-la-la, minding my own damn business, when I get told by another patron that we're not on Apple. I'm sorry, what? What do you mean we're not on Apple?
Was this Navi?
Like a fruit apple?
No, you didn't.
That's what my head was thinking. Like, no, because I didn't want to believe that like Apple Podcasts could actually not have included us. And why did it take till Friday for somebody to let me know, people?
Well, everybody who listens to Apple didn't realize that it wasn't.
Except I posted it on all the social grams. On the Instagram, the Facebook, the Thread, the Twitter. Yeah, so
got it.
All the social grams that Happy World BDSM Day, we're putting out our episode early. So nobody notified me. And it also would have come out midnight Eastern time on Friday morning. And this was like Friday afternoon, I found out. So nobody told me. So I'm really hurt, people. What we have here is a failure to communicate.
What the fuck?
It's from a movie.
I know it's from a movie.
I wasn't sure it was before your time. You didn't know who Rock Hudson was. Why would you know this movie?
Never going to let me live that one down, are you?
Never. Never, ever.
I couldn't tell you which movie, but I know the term. Wait, no, yes, I do. It's, fucking A.
I know it's
a military one. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Like, I can do it. I just couldn't tell you what movie it is.
It's all right. That's fine. As long as you understood it's a movie reference.
I understood the reference.
So
yes.
I go and I double check, and sure enough, we are not on Apple Podcasts. So I open up a ticket with Apple support saying, hello, stupid ass people. Where's my podcast? I mean, that's not actually what I said, but that's
translated into PR.
It translated into business person going, we're missing an episode.
Like, hello?
So I got a lovely message back from them. First message saying your ticket's been opened. Cool. I'm official. I'm in the system. Then a little while later, I get another ticket back going, yes, we see that your episode is not there and we see what the problem is. Your episode should be in an MP3 format, but it came to us in a WebM format. Now, first of all, I don't speak format.
That's Dara's job.
Okay. I do a lot of stuff with the podcast, but this is the one area where Dara is 110% in charge, and I just do what I'm told. Okay. It's not a lot, folks, but this is the one area that this absolutely
Dara
happens.
shines.
Okay.
Dara's been doing audio shit for like 20 years. This when she told me about this, guys, I will go my angry eyes when you're done.
Thank you.
With your part.
So now they said, nothing we can do at our end. You need to go back to your hosting site, get this fixed with them, and then they'll also help you get it so it's re-up so that it can be uploaded on Apple. So I get home from work because I know I can't handle this while I'm at work. So I get home from work and I start with the hosting sites support thing. Now, I will tell you, we do our stuff through Spotify for podcasts. So, and normally, I mean, we've been doing them 177 episodes at that point, and have never had a problem. So I like them. They're very easy. They had recently changed up some stuff. So we did have to make adjustments, but we had done like 2 episodes the new way and had no problem. So I couldn't understand.
Yeah, they're easy and cheap,
right? Plus, every other platform, the episode loaded up to just fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was only Apple. So
sounds like a them problem,
right? So I reach out to Apple support and I open up the little thing on the side where you can type to the person and talk.
Chat box,
thank you. And I start with Jahan. And I'm not making fun of names. This is the actual name, Jahan. So I have to explain the problem to Jahan. And Jahan is like, well, I can see, yes, the file has uploaded as a WebM. It needs to be an MP3. So what we need to do is just re-upload it as an MP3. I said, but I uploaded it as an MP3. It is an MP3 file. No, I understand. So you need to upload it as an MP3 file and then that. No, you don't understand. That is exactly what I did. So this is going back and forth. And when I get the old, hold on, let me check. So we did the old turn it on, turn it off, turn it on thing where I unpublished it, put it back to a draft, waited, and then republished it. And then that still didn't work. So he's like, well, maybe you need to fix it. And I'm going, I'm going to have to talk to my editor for this. So I did something.
The vice president in charge of sound.
So I did something I almost never do. I picked up the phone and called Dara. Dara, would you like to tell our listeners how you answered the phone?
Ring, ring. Who's dead?
She's not kidding. That's exactly how she answered the phone.
Look, it was either somebody died or, and honestly, the last time somebody died, you texted me. So, God's honest truth. I shit you not.
Okay, well, it was an acquaintance's wife, but yes.
Yeah, but still, somebody died and she fucking texted me. So
so maybe that was not the appropriate response.
But we always say that if Rara is going to call me, somebody's probably dead.
It's an emergency.
So my thought was either somebody's dead or she's in the ER and needs me to come get her. It's the only thing I could think of. And I'm already in the car.
Okay, but I was right. It was an emergency.
It was an emergency, absolutely. It was just not the kind of emergency I normally associate, which I guess now podcast emergency is going to be added to my list of why Rara calls me.
Potential emergencies, yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that. And she says, hey, did you save it as an MP3? What? Yes, of course I saved it as an MP3. What are you talking about? The one time I didn't, it exported incorrectly. And we fixed that, and I haven't done it since. And it's like preset. There's nothing I can. So anyway, she tells me that it uploaded as a what? WebM.
Here's the funny thing. So I'm going through all this while I'm also trying to watch the opening ceremonies for the Olympics.
Well, there was your first mistake. You're supposed to concentrate on me.
So my son is next to me because we were watching it together. And he is my tech expert in the house. Because as much as I know, he knows obviously way, way more because he's not the old person I am. So I turned to him and I said, I see that it's named .mp3 is the name of the file. I said, is it right? Doesn't that automatically mean if it's .mp3 that it's an MP3 file?
The format, yes.
And he says, well, you can change it, but it's not simple. But yeah, that's the default. It defaults to the whatever the kind of file it is.
In order to convert the sounds that you send me, by the way, are not MP3s. They're M something 4. It's a particular iPhone.
M4A.
M4A. Whatever it is you send me, I have to convert to MP3s before I could use it in any audio thing that we do. So when I tell you, I know how to convert this shit, and this was an MP3. I was like, look, give me 20 minutes. We're almost home. I'm driving from fucking Arlington all the way home. It was a hot minute of a ride. So we had to go all the way back, and I was like, you got to give me like 20 minutes. I'll get on the computer. I'll look at it. I get home.
Well, we got to finish. So meanwhile, then Jahan is busy saying, okay, so it was already, maybe send it in a WAV file. And I said, and then I told Dar that while we're still on the phone. And she says, no, that's not as good quality. So I'm busy typing. No, that's not as good quality.
And I also said that it takes more. I can't believe you typed that.
Because I'm like, I do not speak editing.
No, it's shit quality. Well, it's not shit. It's just not as good. And an MP3 is more compressed, so it takes less room.
Right? I didn't care about the room.
I do with my computer.
But as the PR person, I'm like, I need the high quality.
Right.
So he's like, oh, and so then all of a sudden I get so I'm going to be going on break real soon. So, but don't worry, this is going to get transferred over to another person. And as I'm still typing to him going, okay, I can change it to the wave for just this one episode, but I don't want it to be a wave going forward because I don't want the bad quality. Like, can we figure out exactly what happened so that we don't have this problem again? And next thing I know, Nathan is not on the line with me now. Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm taking over for Jahan. But don't worry, I have all the records of the conversation that has taken place so far. So please hold a minute and let me catch up.
Was I still on the phone at this point?
No, I think by this point you had hung up because you said you'll call me once you get home.
Okay.
Okay, so I see the problem is that your newest episode did not upload on Apple. And that it's because the file was a WebM and it needs to be an MP3. So if you just upload it as an MP3, this will solve your problem. Nathan, you fucking son of a bitch, I know that. And it is an MP3 file. I was not happy.
Angry eyes.
Very angry eyes. I think I was angry typing at this point too, because remember, I'm
smashing
not
the
talking.
It's like, whoa. Dear God, you don't want to know what my screen looks like right now.
Oh, good, because I wanted to represent the angry typing I was doing. So he said, oh, okay. It's like, thank you, Nathan. And he says, well, and I said, I tried unpublishing and republishing. That didn't work. I tried, I said, and I'm waiting for my editor to come through and help me with this.
I was driving.
I wasn't blaming you. I was angry at Nathan and Jahan. You were innocent in all of this. Once you had confirmed it really was an MP3 file, because the other thing all I could think of was, if it wasn't MP3, then why did it upload okay on everybody else's?
Well, I mean, that's the part that I was getting pissed off at. Okay, when did I get home? Like, were you still talking to Nathan at this point? Because
I think I was still talking to Nathan at this point.
So I got home, and I immediately pulled everything
I'm so upset
up.
My mic fell over because I was scared of what he made. I know.
I ran in the house, ran to my computer. Poor Daddy J is like trying to get the dogs out and feed them and everything. And I'm like, oh, no, podcast emergency. Got to get to the computer. I pull it up. I look at my file, fucking MP3. I pull up the Google Drive that we use to, send stuff to each other and hold up, fucking MP3. I'm pulling up my Audacity thing, fucking MP3. I don't know what's going on. I call Robert. I'm like, dude, it's an MP3. I've looked everywhere. It's an MP3. There is no fucking way that it just suddenly magics into a WebM file. Like, it doesn't do that. You have to use special programs to convert this shit.
So, in the middle of talking with Nathan left.
He abandoned you?
He abandoned me. I don't know if it was my angry typing.
Yeah, fuck Nathan.
Maybe it was my angry typing. My angry eyes. I don't know what it is.
It totally went through the chat box.
It was totally came through. He knew I was angry.
Yeah, and he didn't want to deal with you.
But then, with music playing in the background, in rode our savior, Albert.
We love you, Albert.
Can we just say, thank you, Albert? You are the best. But we still start off with the, hi, I'm Albert. I'll be taking over, but don't worry. I've got all the records of the conversation so far. If you will just give me a minute and let me read. Okay, Albert.
I'm thinking Nathan was a bot.
I see that your episode, the problem is your latest episode did not upload for Apple. Apple requires an MP3 format, and the episode that you uploaded is a WebM episode. If you delete the WebM and put up the MP3, that will solve your problems. Albert, I know this, Albert. Albert.
Right now, Albert is not coming across okay.
Albert, let me explain something to you, Albert. I know this, and it was an MP3 file. And he's like, oh, but he's the first one to acknowledge that I said that. So he's like, all right, well, let me look into this. Meanwhile, I decided to take the next step in the old turn off, turn on.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
No, what I did is I actually went back to it, deleted the file, and re-uploaded the exact same fucking file.
Yep. The MP3 file?
That MP3 file and hit publish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told Albert I did this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Albert checked, and Albert goes, "I've got great news. It now is appearing as an MP3. Wow.
Let me push this through.
Then he did. He said, "Let me." And then I said, "All right." I said, "Let me." I didn't want Albert to go away till I knew it had shown up on Apple. I'm not an Apple person. My son is not an Apple person. My 2 children who have Apples are not in my house with me. So, and my daughter hates it when I reach out to her to tell her to check Pink King podcast on her Apple because then it messes up her recommendations. She doesn't want. Listen, I'm not allowed to. I have to be careful with TikToks for the same reason. She doesn't want me to mess up her For You page.
I think my eyes just got stuck from rolling. But okay.
So then Albert comes back. He goes, "And I've got even better news. It's now appearing on Apple." And he took the next step. He sent me the link to the episode on Apple.
Go, Albert. So here's the thing. Albert didn't actually fix shit.
No, but Albert actually listened to me and didn't try the same shit of trying to tell me to redo a file that was already done right.
Therefore, we actually love Albert.
Yes. And the fact that Albert went to the extra step of checking that it was on Apple and sending me a link. So when they asked me, after, you know how after these things they always ask, "So how was your experience?" I was a little honest.
How honest were you?
I told them they were not helpful. I said, except for Albert. Albert was wonderful. I praised Albert because Albert deserved praise. Because first of all, he did not mansplain shit to me, which I appreciate. And he took the extra step. So go, Albert.
Yay. I swear to God, when I was in that car, dude, the only thing that I could think of was what the actual fuck. These things do not just magically change over formats. What happened? Clearly, that was see, here's the thing. We still can't tell if it was an Apple problem or a Spotify problem.
It's a Spotify podcasters problem, but I have a moral to the story. A very important lesson learned.
Always call Albert first.
Well, that too. So what I used to do in the olden days is I would upload the episode Wednesday evening when I would get home from work. But then I got this way cool, fancy new tablet. And I have the Spotify for Podcasters app on my phone. And I was able to figure out how to just do it from the app. I think I need to go back to the Wednesday nights and do it off of my laptop on the websites and not do it from the app.
Why is that?
Because that's what solved the problem. When I reloaded it when I did that trick of just deleting and reloading, I did that on the website versus in the app.
So maybe your phone did something weird, but seriously, like that, if it worked for every single other platform, there's no fucking reason why it should have only been messed up for one. It's the same fucking file.
But I was very stressed and very upset. And I mean, not only did I have to call Dara, but Dara and I spoke on the phone the second time for over 30 minutes. We spoke twice. And the second time was over 30 minutes.
Granted, it was for the same issue that had not been resolved. So I think that only counts as one.
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
But seriously, a good time was not had by all.
No.
But a big shout out to Albert. I don't know if you listen, but thank you. I did really want to ask all 3 of them at one point because, the episode, it's Pink Kink podcast, and the episode is keeping your kink private. So obviously this is an adult thing. And I did have to explain when, I think it was Nathan J. I don't know, I'm getting confused. One of them had asked me, was I uploading through the app or through the website? And I said, I actually have to do it both ways. I start on the app, but the app doesn't let me mark our podcast as adult content. So then I would start it off in the app because the app was much easier, and then move over to the website and finish it up on the website with the, yes, this is adult content. So obviously all 3 of these helpers knew that it was adult content. I wanted to ask, did you want to listen now? But that's my story.
I wonder if they do, because they have the links to it.
Yeah, well, especially the Apple link now. Albert has the Apple link.
Yeah. That was, oh my God.
But all hail, Albert.
Hail. Hail. Hail.
But that was my adventures.
Yeah, I did not like being roped into that one either.
No, not fun. It's like I'm talking editing, the one part of the podcast that I have no fucking clue about.
Just translate everything that I say, just type it out.
I'm like, oh my God, not only do I have to speak Dara now. I'm just being Dara
You have to
and
channel
editor.
your inner Dara?
I have to channel my inner Dara. That is
I
not
am
so
so
easy.
sorry.
That is not an easy task. First of all, I have to get the ADHD going.
Well, you did it because you were watching the Olympics and talking to your son, and you were on the phone with me, and you were on the computer.
Hold on. More than that, I was on the computer, my tablet, and my phone because they'd want me to check things out. And I was like, I'd started on my tablet thinking my tablet was sufficient. And then I had to get my computer hoping that might be better. But the chat was happening on the tablet, so I couldn't get rid of the tablet. And then I was also grabbing the phone to look up stuff.
Not to mention you were in your earbuds talking to me.
Right. So I guess technically your ADHD was working through me at that point.
It was great. You did great. That's exactly what we do.
All right. I'm exhausted now from reliving all of this.
You rehashed it.
I rehashed it. I relived it. But it had a happy ending, and that's really all that matters. You know, as a romance reader, the happy ending is all I need after all that.
God. Hey, I've got some more interesting news for you.
I'm betting we're setting a new record.
Why you gotta do that?
Sorry.
Why you gotta do that? You just stole all my thunder.
I guess I'm still channeling my inner Dar.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm gonna hand over to you the proverbial mic.
Well, now it's not fun anymore because now I can't go, hey, Robert, guess what? We just set a new record for how long it takes us to stop fucking talking and start talking. Wait a minute.
Okay, but this is important, and the readers needed to know this. I should not have been.
I'm sorry, the who?
Oh my God. I was still thinking romance. The listeners need to know this. Okay, this is my clue to shut up. Ding, you're it.
Okay. On that note, hold on. I might need a tissue right now because what the fuck? So at this point, what do? I just say what it is because I have no transition. There's no funny transition from that story to what this episode is.
Hold on. Let me see.
I can't, if you pull this off,
hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Aha.
Oh, God.
Because I was doing stuff with Albert that you were directing from the phone.
Oh, my God.
I did it, didn't I? Why? How was I able to do that? Because, say it with me, everybody, I'm a genius.
I'm gonna let you just say that one on your own. You know what? I don't think that you are as not neurodivergent as you think you are. Because one of the trademarks of neurodivergence is thinking in squiggles and pulling stuff out of your ass.
That's also a journalism public relations specialty because we have to take all these various and assorted facts and put them together and have them make sense.
I'm going to speed through this fucking episode now because I think we're at like the half-hour mark. Oh my God, that was too much. Oh, I can't believe you actually pulled that off. All right, so anyway, if you hadn't guessed from the title and Rara's transitional bullshitting, we're talking about the kink of cucking.
I'm still so proud of myself.
That was pretty good. You should give yourself a pat on the back for that. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Can't believe you fucking did that. Jesus Christ. Fucking dead over here. Rara's dead too. You can hear it. All right, so on to the episode about cuckolding. This is going to be like an hour and a half fucking episode because I'm going to be laughing the whole time and not be able to actually get into this. Okay, so cucking is actually, so originally it was a person, typically a man, experiences arousal from their partner. In that heterosexual thing where this all started, it was, the wife or girlfriend engaging in sexual activities with another person. That's like your basic standard definition. Cucqueaning would be the other way, the other gendered versions of this. This is the part that I thought was cool. The word cuckold, I love my etymology. Not entomology, rah-rah, that's bugs. Etymology.
No, you don't like bugs.
No, I don't bugs. No, thank you. It is derived from the cuckoo bird. Yep. There she goes. Rara, why was it named for the cuckoo bird?
I don't know, but I'm listening intently because
No, you're not listening intently.
I am.
So the cuckoo bird is actually known for laying its eggs in other birds' nests.
That's cuckoo.
Yes. And then the other bird bonds with the baby birds when they hatch, and it doesn't realize that it's not their baby. So the analogy is it's describing a man raising children who were not his own unknowingly.
Okay, that's quite the stretch, but okay. I'm not saying that's your fault.
Do you
I'm
know,
saying that's
but do you
their
know
stretch.
how often that happened?
I would imagine a lot.
Yeah, hurry up and get married to this person because I had sex with this person and now I'm pregnant, and yeah.
There's a Jewish tradition in weddings that the groom prior to the marriage raises the veil off the bride's face to make sure the bride is actually the one he's supposed to marry and that they haven't tried to play switcheroo.
That happened?
Apparently.
Yikes.
So yeah, apparently it all happens.
Okay. Well, I mean, so obviously more modern times, it's become something a little different. It's definitely become a kink. It has become a consensual kink. So like mainstream media and everything sees it as taboo. It sees it as wrong, but it's actually become definitely more of like a actual kink or fetish in our communities. It's mostly because online stuff, there's forums, there's safe spaces to discuss it, to plan it, to get people to participate in it. And Rara and I actually have our own story about that, which I think we've told before, but it's very significant here.
Yeah, we done it.
Twice. I've done it more than that.
Well, no, have we done it twice? I know we fucked twice, but I don't know if we've done this twice.
Daddy J at that point, and it's not. Okay, so just the blowjob?
Just the blowjob.
Okay, so that was the one.
Yeah.
Okay, but I've done the blowjob thing twice with him. I mean, in this capacity, not just giving him a blowjob twice.
No.
Okay, anyway, we'll get to that. The roles, like the basics of how this works is there's the cuck. It could be the cuckold, the cuck queen, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the partner who experiences arousal from their significant other's sexual activities with the other person. So that would be me in this case.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. How does this
actually raise your hand? Oh my God. What's up?
How does this differentiate from voyeurism?
I'll get to that.
Oh, goody. Okay.
That's part of it. This is why we're supposed to read each other's notes.
You never read my notes. I am not reading yours.
Fun this way. It's fine. It's actually a part of it. So but voyeurism, I'll just say it here. I'm a voyeur. I could watch Rara, who is not my partner, fuck somebody else who is also not my partner. And I'm like, ooh, that's enjoyable to watch. I like it. This is particularly, let's just use the example, Rara fucking my partner, the person I am with. This is why Daddy J and I refer to ourselves as monogamish. We scene with other people. I mean, I fucking do it all the time. And he does it every once in a while. But the difference is when he does this, it's for my benefit. Not necessarily for his. This is definitely for my benefit. Because I get arousal from watching him play with other people. Now, I don't think he gets aroused from me playing with other people, but when I have clients over and they start screaming, I get aroused and then I run upstairs and I jump him. So it works.
He's happy. He wins.
He wins either way. Okay, so there's the cuck person, which is the one that experiences the arousal. The primary partner is the person who engages in sexual activities with a third party. So like in my case, that would be Daddy J. And the third party, known as the bull, the hot wife, there's a couple of other terms for this, is the one that has sex with the primary partner. And in our little example, Rara. Me. Rara's the hot wife?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make me not the hot wife?
Can I be a hot wife if I'm not a wife?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I feel like I'm the hot wife and you're like the hot partner.
I'm the MILF.
Yes. He does like them boobies.
Mm.
All right. So there's there's so many psychological aspects of this, and knowing me, I had to get into them.
Well, I'm glad you did, because I've always wondered
why people do
Why?
this?
Well, it's interesting. So my partner Deez, I've talked about it. He's a swinger.
Yes.
And I've been to swinging events with him. And the last one that we went to together as we were driving, he said it. He goes, I would very much like to watch you get it on with somebody else.
Oh, he's a cuck.
And he did watch.
Yep.
I had no desire. I mean, it wasn't that I was jealous. It didn't turn me on to watch him be with somebody else.
Right.
Now, what's interesting is, and I would love, and I don't know if you're going to cover it or not, I'm also not a voyeur. I'm an exhibitionist.
Right.
So the idea that I would have sex with somebody else and he would watch, that did turn me on. But the idea of watching him have sex with somebody else was like,
It's in my notes.
Oh, yay, see?
I don't know where they are in my notes.
We'll find them. Okay.
We'll get to it.
All right, keep going.
But I know that's in there.
Keep going.
All right. So one reason, motivation, is the power dynamic of it. It's the cuck or may find arousal in the feeling of submission and humiliation as their partner engages in sexual activities with another person. It taps into deeper psychological desires for power exchange and surrender. In my case, that is pretty damn accurate. The submission part, not really. The humiliation part, yes.
Well, and to me, it's also, but there is power dynamics, just not submission.
Well,
because you're directing it, right?
No. So that's only in certain cases. That's
okay.
like one type of it. So, for example, it's going to sound really weird, but I had a supervisor once, way back in the day when I was in training. And she was definitely on this kink. It was the only kink that she and her husband participated in. But she was definitely the dominant partner, and she would go out and have sex with other men, just literally random other men, come home and have sex with her husband. And he knew about it, but pretended he didn't because he liked sloppy seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you want to explain to people what sloppy seconds are, just in case?
She still has the cum of her previous partner inside her while he's fucking her, and they use it as lube. Yeah. That was his thing. So for him, that was the power dynamic. It was the humiliation. His wife isn't getting it well enough from him, so she has to go and get it from someone else. His wife is humiliating him by making him fuck her while she is still, juicing out from the previous partner.
And I would think historically, and what that kind of shit means, that just adds to the whole humiliation.
Yes. But the difference is he knows. He is aware. He likes it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference.
Consent is a thing.
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely is. That was consensual. But that, I think, was the only kink that they ever did. And I'm pretty sure she mentioned they didn't do that until after their kids and they were done having kids. Like, it just became a thing afterwards. But yeah, no, they were into it. So that's where the power dynamics, the humiliation part comes in. And transitioning into it, erotic humiliation is another motivation. So your humiliation can be its own kink. And this is one of the ways that you get that humiliation. The way she did it was the whole less than, you're inferior to these guys that I go fuck. She would literally do the small penis humiliation part on him. Again, all consensual. He liked it.
So busy, you're telling him you have to go fuck other people because you've got such a small penis you can't satisfy.
Right.
Them.
Yeah. That was their thing.
Which explains the whole bull.
Mm-hmm.
Because a bull a bull traditionally is not just that it's any old guy with a penis. It's specifically a guy with a very large penis.
Right. So there's your term. So there's another one, which these two kind of go together. There's the empathy and identification, where it's kind of like, so I'm trying to explain this one. It's experiencing the sexual encounter vicariously. Like, you're picturing it, but you're not doing it.
I mean, I would imagine it's like watching porn, but with people you care about.
But live
and people you care about.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like that. And then the other part of this, and this is what goes together, is compersion. You're watching your partner get pleasure from the other person.
And that's Diesel's point.
Right. Well, he's also pretty voyeuristic.
Yeah.
So that works. It's just the knowing your partner is enjoying themselves. And in my case, if he was making noise, I'd be like, oh yeah, he's enjoying it. Now I'm getting off. I don't remember if he made noise. I've had to train him into making noise. And then there's the concept of breaking the social norms and the act that is taboo itself, which makes people hot. It is absolutely just the sheer idea that this is a transgression against, just about every culture in the world's moral code is the thrill all by itself. Here we go, the exhibitionism. If you are the bull or the hot wife, if you are the partner that is doing it, you might get the exhibition aspect of this. And then the cuck gets the voyeuristic aspect. So all of these things kind of blend together. Now, here's the kind of backside of this is you're going to get some reactions. And even if you do get pleasure out of this stuff, if you have one of the desires that we just talked about, there's going to be, I don't want to say backlash, but inevitably there's some reactions. And these could include shame and not the good kind of humiliation.
Shame that you enjoy watching your spouse have sex with somebody else.
It's kind of like, remember how you were having a hard time with like, why do I want to get hit?
Yeah.
It's similar to that. Everybody has that point in their kink journey where they're questioning why they like this. And it's just going to be like that.
And I would imagine this particular kink, maybe even more so because it's so far outside the norm, right? Like with Impact, we might look at it and go, oh, Impact, why do I like this and all that? But we know people who run marathons, who, do a lot of dance, a lot of different things which are looked upon as normal, but is very physically taxing. But to say, oh, wow, I like watching my partner have sex with somebody else.
It's so far
and get
outside
sloppy seconds.
Normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the jealousy and insecurity part. So again, you have to have rules, and we're going to get into that. But just to tap on it a little bit, my rule with Daddy J is I have to be there. He can't just go off and do what my ex-supervisor did and just have relations with somebody, come home to me and go. I'm not a sloppy seconds kind of person. But when I was there watching him with Rara, that I liked. It has to be a person I know. It has to be, and I have to be there. I don't remember. I think that was the only rules that I had. Was it the directing it part? I also really like that. And that was I did that with another partner. It was, so the guy again was my partner, but I invited somebody to kind of fuck with him while he was going down on me. And I was watching that person mess with him, and I was kind of directing it. So, I mean, I've done this a few different ways where I've been a participant in the actual scene, but I was in control of it, and I've done it where I was just watching. So either way, I like it. I'm weird. I know.
It's all right. You're allowed to be.
The jealousy and insecurity part, even though you like it, these can still happen. You can still have these feelings, and that's totally okay. The problem is if you give this person permission to cuck you and you set up the scene and blah, 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 and they do it and they come back and they're happy about it, you cannot then say, oh my God, infidelity, and be all pissy about it. Not after the fact. I'm sorry. That's just not right. You gave the person permission. You gave them ongoing permission. And then after, you're like, nah. But the difference is how you act on it. Now, some people like they get aroused by the jealousy and insecurity part. So it can go any which way. You can also, there's the vulnerability aspect of it. Sometimes it's a lot more intimate. So going back to my former supervisor, she would, I think, tell him the details of what we're just going to call them bull, of what the bull did to her. And that would be, it would be a shaming. It would be all the other things. But he liked that feeling. The thing we were talking about before is you have to give full consent to do this, just like every other kink. In fact, I feel like there's a lot more to this one than others because this has to be like a minimum 3-person setup. Unless, is there times when the bull may not know that this is what they're participating in? Sure. I'm sure that's happened. But between the partners, there has to be very, very explicit and clear communication from setup to the aftermath. Every single time we say explicit, we mean explicit. This has to be, hey, Daddy J, I would love for you to go fuck rah-rah. I need to watch. I need to be there. I need to watch. And it has to be rah-rah. You can't just go off and fuck somebody else. Rah-rah has to agree. Daddy J has to agree. I have to agree. That's the only way this scene would work. During the scene, I'm pretty sure, rah-rah, didn't you you're like, okay, this cool? You good? You still good?
Yeah, I'm sure I must have, because that was my first time being involved in that kind of scene. And, I wanted to make sure, as the MILF, I guess, since I'm not a hot wife. I'm hot, I'm just not a wife. As the MILF, I just wanted to
As the third party,
fine. I'd rather just be a MILF.
Fine, as the MILF.
As the MILF, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crossing any boundaries, because I'd never done this before. I didn't know what was okay and what wasn't.
Mm-hmm. And I just kept saying, nope, it's good. Go, do it.
Right. But it was interesting. I think I was also asking Daddy J. It wasn't just asking you, Were you okay? It was like, this. I've been involved in group activities before, just not where one watched like that. Usually it was we were just kind of like taking turns and stuff.
Yeah. And if he had said, you know what, I got to stop, like right in the middle of it, scene would have ended.
I think we ended up ending the scene because he was like
starting to get a little he hit a wall.
It was,
Yeah. And which is his right. And if he was uncomfortable, then we stopped it. He still talks about it.
Oh, really?
He enjoyed it.
Remember, my skills are very good. That's how I ended up with Diesel.
Yeah. Well, he enjoyed himself. It was just at that time, because this was so long ago. This was, remember, this was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 7 years ago now?
Something like that.
Jesus. Yeah. His and my relationship was relatively new. His and Rah-Rah's relationship, I think he had just met her, a few months before?
Yeah.
And
we didn't know each other that.
He was not used to anything other than monogamous. Once you commit to this person, and we were just dating at the time, once you commit to this person, that's it. You don't even look at anybody else. That's what he was used to. So the concept of this whole thing was new to him, and it was kind of not wigging him out, but it was making him a little nervous and uncomfortable. So we stopped it. Now would probably be different. Now he'd probably be fine. We haven't tried it in a while. Okay, so some specific considerations for setting a scene for cucking. You have to start with that detailed conversation. You have to discuss your fantasies. You have to discuss your limits. For me, again, a limit is you can't just go off and fuck somebody and then come home and tell me about it. Now, I have said to him, he flirts. He flirts a lot. He flirts like he breathes, right? He says,
a little bit.
He
but then me too.
He came home the other day and was telling me about how cute his dental hygienist was. I was like, did you get her number? Bring her home. But no, he wouldn't have. But that's the kind of shit I think is I like it. I think it's funny. But he's not allowed to just go off and fuck the dental hygienist behind, in a car somewhere and then come home. Hey, guess what? I fucked a cute dental hygienist. No, has to be somebody I know. Usually it's somebody I'm pretty good friends with that I trust a lot. Those are my limits. And so you got to describe your limits just like every other scene. You also have to be able to read and discuss any nonverbal cues. I'm not entirely sure in our scene, Daddy J, me, and Rah-Rah, I'm not entirely sure that Daddy J flat out said red. I don't think he ever said, hey, I gotta stop. It was actually just Rah-Rah realizing it.
I could sense it. My spidey senses were tingling. That his were not tingling.
Yeah. Not at that point, not anymore. But so if you know that you might go nonverbal or not be able to vocalize it, give something. We say stuff like drop the ball or tap or raise your hand or something. In this case, I think Rah-Rah is just really good at reading body language. You always have to have your safe word. If you are the kind of person that uses red or banana or onomatopoeia, use it. Or just stop. Or no. Any of those.
Okay.
Or in my case, okay. But in this particular case, I probably would not have said, okay. Unless I was writing the Sibian at the time, which, by the way, that sounds like a rockin' good time.
I have a Sibian. I keep telling you.
I know you do, but I'm saying in the context of that particular scene, me writing a Sibian would probably be really cool. You have to talk about your emotions. You have to talk about how you think you're going to feel beforehand. You have to discuss afterwards. It's really, really important. Even if you know you like it. Especially if you've never done this kind of scene before, you have to discuss it. Because if you felt in any way uncomfortable and you don't tell your partner that you felt uncomfortable, and then you try to go do it again and again and again, it's just going to make it worse. You're going to feel resentful. It's not going to be good. Luckily, Rara and I are still friends.
Hey, I do what I can for my friends and their husbands.
Another thing that you really have to be careful about is confidentiality.
Oh, yeah.
If you go and find somebody randomly online, you need to be really, really careful about exposing them, exposing yourself, exposing your partner. This is not shit that you want to get out. Any details to add to that one?
Oh, sorry. I agree because of the stigma. Again, I think it would be much easier to come out and say, hey, so I like to be spanked. That's fun. Than to say, hey, by the way, so a friend of mine came over and fucked my husband and I watched.
Oh, and it was
And
great.
when they were done, then my husband fucked me. Right? Like that, we still have enough problem with people even accepting
the spanking part.
Polyamory.
Yeah.
Let alone open marriages. Let alone, I watched my partner fuck somebody else.
The stigma of this one would be pretty bad. Like I
think even more so, like if it's a husband watching his wife and the whole sloppy seconds, like that takes away, somehow would seem to take away from your manhood. You let other men fuck her and then you fuck her after. What kind of man are you?
Can you imagine though the in-laws finding out that the husband slept with somebody and the wife was just like staying with them? Can you imagine the shit storm that would come down on that?
Well, J.D. Vance would say it's okay.
Fuck J.D. Vance. Preferably not on a couch.
Sorry, I couldn't help it, guys.
Let's not. Let's just, no. Gross.
Carry on.
You're ruining my fucking episode. Oh my God, what if he's a cuck and he just doesn't want to admit it?
Ooh.
I can see that.
Well, that would explain the couch fascination.
I can 100% see that, by the way. Okay, anyway. I want to go over some of the scenarios that are possibly here, because this is what Rara was asking about. So this is kind of cool, because the way I have this is they all have names.
Okay.
Different flavors.
I like that.
All right, so we have the classic, which is when the cuck partner is aware, consents to their partner, the secondary person, having sexual relations with the third party. The cuck may watch or listen from a different room, or be present in the same space, but not actively participate. So, do you remember that episode that we did about the 7 people polyamorous relationship that wanted a sex room, and that one guy, his thing was he liked to watch from a different room?
Oh, yes, on the sex room show, yes.
Yeah, it's that. The voyeuristic tendency is that one.
Okay.
All right, so the second one is called the humiliation.
Ooh.
The cuck is explicitly humiliated as part of the scenario. And I've watched porn like this, and it was pretty nice. The setup could involve being made to perform degrading tasks, such as cleaning up after the third party, being verbally insulted, being required to watch while restrained.
See, that's where my thoughts go as a kinkster who loves rope and bondage. I would love to see that where they're tied up.
That's the one that I actually really want to do. I have one of our friends. I want her and my husband to be on the bed with her doing reverse cowgirl. So she's facing me, but I'm like bound on the floor, can't move. And I'm just watching her take advantage of him. But she's making eye contact with me while doing it.
One of our other friends, I'm going to give her a little plug here, Amity Malcolm, who is a romance writer, did write this scene into a book.
The one that I just described?
No, the humiliation scene where it was a Christmas book took place in Christmas. So in this case, it was 2 women, 1 man, and the man was tied to the chair by Christmas lights.
Oh,
and had to watch the 2 women having sex.
That's exactly that's fun. The Christmas lights is a good touch. Well done, Amity. So that's the one that I really want to do. I haven't done that yet, but it sounds like that just sounds hot as fuck. All right, so there's the emotional. The cuck experiences emotional distress or jealousy as part of the fantasy. This might involve the third party expressing affection or emotional connection with the third party, highlighting the cuck's feelings of inadequacy or jealousy. So this isn't just, oh, I went and fucked this person and they were so much better than you. This is, I really, really have feelings for this person. I feel such a connection with them, not necessarily like I do with you, but I feel such a that one. It's the whole emotional cheating thing, but not really because it's part of the scene. All right, the watchful.
Ooh, I want to watch. Oh, sorry.
No, you don't.
I'm kidding.
You want to be the third party. The cuck watches from a designated spot, like a separate room with a video feed or from behind a one-way mirror. So think police interrogation room. They might have a more active role like providing commentary, or they might encourage the third party to go harder, faster, stronger, better with their secondary partner.
I'm going to sing in my head.
Yep, that's kind of what I was going for there.
Okay.
And then the last possible one is called the public. This is something I would probably not do just because that's a lot more voyeuristic than I would be comfortable with. But again, I've seen the porns.
Well, this is what I did.
Right.
Because I am an extreme exhibitionist.
Yes, you are. You are the exhibition of exhibitionism.
Yeah. So it was basically, I was having sex with another man, and then his girlfriend joined in, and Diesel watched the whole thing.
Did you guys talk about it afterwards? Like, what did he say?
We did talk about it, but not about what you would think about.
Okay.
We talked about the fact that the guy's girlfriend seemed unhappy.
That's why she joined in?
Well, they were in a DS.
Yes.
He's the dom, she's the sub. He pulled her in to be a part of it. She wasn't unhappy that he pulled her in to be a part of it. She seemed to be unhappy that he was having sex with me in the first place.
Okay, so that's on them for not discussing that aspect in the first place.
So it was the 3 of us, and then it was the 2 of us because she walked out.
Oh, dear.
Which is not my fault. I'm, as far as I knew, they were okay with it, or else why would the 3 of us be together?
Why would you be at a swinger party?
Well, some people come to just watch because they're voyeurs.
Yeah.
Some people come because they're exhibitionists and they want to have sex with their partner and have other people watch them.
Yeah, that's a definite them problem.
It was a definite them problem. So that was actually what we were talking about most of the time, is because I was concerned I had done something, maybe I had done something wrong, but I hadn't. You
weren't aware. Like, as far as you knew, your information was this was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically it. The cuck's humiliation or involvement takes place in a semi-public or social setting like a party or a gathering with a group of friends. It might involve them being openly acknowledged being cucked or degraded in front of others. It might not. Depends on the scene. So there's a large amount of overlap in most of these, but those are like the 5 basics. And I definitely have done. Which one have I done? I did the watchful, correct?
Yes.
Except it wasn't a one-way mirror. I was in the room. I don't know. I think I'm kind of like between classic and watchful.
Mm-hmm. And me being me is definitely the public.
Yes. So there's a few of these, and but again,
there's actually another couple having sex next to us on the other side of the bed. So yeah, very public.
Very public. Not me in a million years. My scenes are all either in my room or with the one with Rara.
And then there are also other people. There are other people in the room too, watching.
Which part? Oh, yours?
All of it.
Not the one with me and Daddy
no. My scene.
Right, yeah.
Because it was in a bedroom.
Yes.
With a big bed. We were on one side of the bed. There was another couple on the other side of the bed, and then there were people around the room watching. Doris's mind is blown. Like, how?
The most I ever did was participate in a couple of orgies. And I was not the one being fucked. So, yeah. Relatively private? Fuck if I know.
I fucked watching an orgy.
I have not done
There
that.
was, well, I don't know if you, I don't know how many people you need to have it officially be an orgy, but there was a chain line of 6 people doing oral.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one
That's a
was
daisy
doing
chain.
daisy. Okay, there's a daisy chain of 6 people doing oral.
Yeah.
And then my partner and I were watching that and then fucking while we were watching that.
That actually sounds kind of hot.
I wasn't complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were other people in the room.
I forgot to tell you, and I'll just tell everybody because this is actually really funny. Daddy J discovered a new kink last night.
Oh, yeah? What?
Biting me.
Oh. You know what's interesting? That is not one of my kinks. Biting or being bitten.
I didn't realize, I mean, I know that I like to bite, but it's not, to me, that's like my little coming out. I had no idea that I also enjoyed being bit.
Yeah, biting is not for me.
Fucking man bit me while I was coming, and it sent me so far over the edge. I fell down.
Yep.
I had no idea. So now I'm like, you can do that harder next time. He goes, okay, I was trying to be gentle, but I really like that.
You do know biting will leave bruises.
Yeah.
All right, as long as you're okay with that.
Yep.
Informed consent,
It
my
was fine.
friend.
It was fine.
Okay.
I got a shirt on now. At the time, I did not. He didn't bite me that hard yesterday, though.
But you told him he could go harder.
Oh, yeah.
so
No, I told him he could go
preparation.
harder. I don't care. That was awesome. So kudos to the two of us. We are like been together this long and we are still discovering new kinks.
That's how the relationships keeps going if you keep growing together.
It was nice. I just didn't realize that I liked receiving. And I don't think he realized that he liked giving that. So, but anyway.
Yeah, I've always been very fascinated with cuckolding only because I'm very fascinated with anything that falls, at least within the voyeur umbrella or at least near the voyeur umbrella because it's not something I have. I don't get it.
Well,
so I tend to be more fascinated by things that I don't have because I like to try to understand what you see in that, what you get from that. Why does it turn you on? Because I'm like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I would like to continue exploring. I haven't had the chance to since before COVID, which is sad. But my God, COVID turned off all of that. And I think I've been nervous about upping it again or getting back into it. But
yeah, like I can't explain why I like exhibitionism. I just do. So I understand if people were like, I just do. That to me is an acceptable answer. But this is fascinating. This kind of stuff.
Is your voice okay now?
I'm not angry anymore.
Oh, okay. Did I calm you down a little bit?
No, I got it out. I let it all out.
Okay.
And I feel better from having shared my anger with everybody so that you all understand.
Yeah, and don't worry, I have the photos of Rara angry typing so she can use it in a graphic.
Yes. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a minute of our fun and educational content. New episodes drop every Friday.
If you love what we do and want to show support, there are several ways. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/pinkkinkpodcast. You can support our affiliates or help spread the word about our kinky podcast to your friends.
Don't forget to rate and review Pink Kink on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Those 5-star reviews go a long way in boosting our podcast through the algorithm and reaching more listeners.
Sign up for our Pink Kink Institute classes. Shop at our Etsy shop, Pink Kink Boutique. Stay connected with us on social media. You'll find all the links on our link tree posted in the show notes.
Your support means the world to us. So until next time, stay pretty, stay safe,
and stay twisted.